Welcome to the online class conducted by the Department of Botany, Marthoma College, Chungatara. I am Elizabeth George, and in this session we will be discussing more topics on economic botany. We shall begin with fiber yielding plants. Fibers are small, thin and slender structures which are derived from plants and animals. Plant fibers are long sclerenchymatous cells with narrow lumen and pointed end. So these are long and thin structures. Sclerenchymatous cells are mainly providing mechanical support to soft tissues. So soft parts of the plant are provided with sclerenchymatous cells so that they are made very strong. These occur singly or in groups, and mainly lignin deposits are present on the walls along with cellulose, and fibers are seen in all parts of the plants like roots, stem, leaves, etc. Plant fibers are classified into three different groups, mainly based on the sources from which they are extracted. First we have stem fibers, which are also known as bast fibers or soft fibers. The best example for stem fiber is jute, which is obtained from the fiber cells present in the stem of this plant. Another part from which fibers are extracted is leaves. These are also known as leaf fibers, are also known as structural fibers or hard fibers. Such leaves which produce strong fibers are normally sword shaped and thick in nature. Some of them are fleshy and often hard surfaced. Main family of plants from which leaf fibers are obtained is agave family, which has got large, narrow and thick leaves. Other plants include pineapple, abaca, cantala, Mauritius hemp, phormium, banana leaf, sisal, etc. Fruit and seed fibers are also commonly used for preparing various products, and these are hairy structures seen on the fruit covers or seed covers. Common examples include cotton, coconut fibers, etc. We will discuss mainly about coconut fibers and cotton in this session. These images show the various products obtained from the leaves and also the stem fibers. So first one is the extraction of leaf fibers from the pineapple plant, and this one, a picture shows the products which are obtained or made from the leaf fibers. This image shows the picture of jute plant, the stem of which is used to make jute. And this is the drying process of the stem of the jute plant to obtain the large fibers which are used for preparing various products like sacks, packing materials, clothes, etc. We will discuss about coir. We know that it is obtained from the coconut plant, so we have already discussed its binomial name is Cocos nucifera. It is belonging to the family Araceae. The part from which the coir is extracted is the surface fiber of the seeds. It is mainly distributed in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. We of course, all the Keralites need no introduction about the coconut plant. The major uses of the fibers obtained from coir are preparation of brushes, doormats, ropes, floor coverings, upholstery, thermal insulators, mattresses, organic pots, bedding material, packing materials, etc. These days, coco peat is normally used for planting young seedlings so that they can be provided with constant supply of moisture and nutrients. So these are the increasing uses of coir which is obtained from the coconut plant. Another important fiber yielding plant is cotton. The binomial name is Gossypium herbaceum. It is the commonly cultivated variety. Some other forms like Gossypium arboreum, Gossypium hirsutum are also used for the production of cotton. Gossypium arboreum is very common in Kerala. It is a tree which is normally used in household for preparing pillows and mattresses. It belongs to the family Malvaceae. It is the same family as that of hibiscus. And coming to the useful part, the seed coat fibers are used as the fiber part. The major countries in which cotton plant is cultivated is India, Japan, and some parts of South Africa. It is known that the black soil of the Deccan Plateau and the peninsular India is the best for cultivating cotton. General uses of cotton plant or cotton fiber includes manufacturing of clothes, stuffing of pillows and cushions and upholsteries, of course mattresses, carpeting, plastic reinforcing, seed cake, that is the seed oil is extracted from the seed and the cake is used as cattle feed. The seed oil can be used in making food and various soaps. These are the various uses of cotton. So we have to specify the part of the plant which is used as the fiber. It is the seed coat fibers. In the pictures given in the slide, you can see the various pictures of cotton plant. This is a cotton plant in the plantation. This is a single plant taken in enlarged form. So you can see that it is obtained from the flower. So these are the different stages in cotton plant or cotton production. So we have the small leaves from which buds are formed and young flowers arise. An important feature of cotton plant's flower is it changes its color. It originates in the form of a light cream color and then it transforms into a white, then to pinkish and last to a dark pink color. Then the cotton fruit is formed and inside it seeds are formed, and on the surface of the seeds there are large fibers which are used by us as cotton. So finally the cotton is from the cotton plant, this cotton ball is extracted or removed and the seeds are removed from it and used for further processing. So these are the various stages of the cotton plant's development. So we have discussed 2 fiber yielding plants. Another important use of plants is timber. Wood is one of the first plant products which comes to our mind. So when we list plants uses, we add wood or as fuel wood. We write it in the first part itself. It is used since the time immemorial for the construction of tools, hunting equipments, houses, buildings, agricultural implements, utensils, boats, toys, furniture, etc. It is the most widely used commodity next to food and clothing. When we compare wood with other forms of materials used for constructions, we can say that wood is cheaper, light and easy to work with. When comparing with the metal components, we can see that we can work easily with wood without much problems. And even though it is easy to work with, it is rust free and a bad conductor of heat and electricity. So all these make wood a very good commodity to construct buildings, houses and various equipments. In botanical terms, wood is secondary xylem formed as a result of secondary growth. That is, after a plant completes its primary growth. Primary growth is concerned with the increase in the length of the plant. And after it completes its primary growth, it starts its secondary growth. Here, an important plant cell is coming. Its name is cambium. So cambium helps the plant to increase its girth. So whatever the plant is preparing, or whatever the cells are being synthesized or being divided and forming, it is coming in the secondary growth. So here the secondary growth is preparing or producing large amounts of wood, and it is responsible for the increase in the girth, increase in the diameter of the plant. We have so many prized timbers in our country, and of course our place Nilambur is known for its teak plantations. So when British colonial rule was there in India, plantations of teak were prepared in our region to construct various materials, especially the railway coaches and the railway berths. So these plantations are still existing, and our place is a geographical indication for this variety of timber, that is the Nilambur teak. Other than teak, other very prized varieties of wood are also available in India, including rosewood, jack, etc. We shall discuss about 3 important timber yielding plants, first of which is of course teak. The binomial name of teak is Tectona grandis, and it belongs to the family Verbenaceae. We know the morphology of the useful part is wood. It is distributed in other states of India like Assam, West Bengal, Sikkim, northwestern India, and of course in southern Indian states. The major uses of teak wood is for the construction of buildings, ship bridges, railway sleepers, girders, and highly prized furniture. This images shows the plantations of teak, others show the various products obtained from the teak, and this is the teak wood, the final finishing surface of the teak wood. So these are the various uses for which teak wood is used, and we will discuss another timber yielding plant, that is jack. Binomial name is Artocarpus heterophylla. It belongs to the family Moraceae. Morphology of the useful part is wood, and again it's distributed in states like Assam, Bihar, and South Indian states. Jack wood is normally used for construction of furniture, construction of buildings, etc. So this is 3 pictures. First one shows the wood obtained from jack plant. This is the surface of the wood, and this shows a large jackwood tree. A third timber yielding plant is rosewood, which is also a highly prized form of wood. Its binomial name is Dalbergia latifolia, belonging to the family Papilionaceae. Here also the morphology of the useful part is wood. It is distributed in the South Himalayan tract of eastern Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Orissa, central, western, and southern India. Its wood is best known for the cabinet work and carving. Various ornamental items are prepared by or prepared from the rosewood. Mathematical instruments, calico printing blocks, carriage paths, temple chariots, boats, brush backs, etc. are also prepared from Indian rosewood. When we compare the rosewood with other woods, we can see that it is a bit darker wood. So this is a tree cut from, or a tree of rosewood cut, and we can see that compared to the other wood, it is having a darker or a light pinkish color wood. So this is a furniture which is produced from the rosewood, and this is an example or a picture showing the rosewood tree. Next group of plants is ornamentals. Plants are commonly grown for their beauty. So these ornamental plants are normally grown in gardens and landscapes for their beautiful flowers, foliage, appearance, etc. Leaves, flowers, fruits are grown for the aesthetic beauty, used for decorations, and for producing various products like scented oils, perfumes, etc. Ornamental plants can be herbs, shrubs, trees, climbers, or smaller plants like mosses and ferns. A major industry which depends on ornamental plants is cut flower industry, and from India various flowers are exported to other countries, and this is a very profit yielding industry. Leaves and other parts are also exported from our country. Common ornamental plants cultivated in India include anthurium, heliconia, rose, chrysanthemum, dahlia, jasmine, ferns, lotus, anthurium, etc. These pictures show various commonly seen ornamental plants in India. We shall discuss first about rose. The binomial name is Rosa species. It belongs to the family Rosaceae, and majorly used part is flower. Of course, we know rose plant is used for cut flower industry, and it is used for commercial and domestic purposes, for decorations, for decorating landscapes, for functions, etc. Rose oil is produced by crushing the petals, and steam distillation yields rose perfume. Rose water, which is shown here, it is used as a byproduct of the rose oil, and it is used for cosmetic, religious purposes and medicinal purposes. So here we have the rose oil, this is the rose water, and this one is the rose essence, which is added to various food products. So various products of roses are available, and another form of ornamental plant is jasmine. There is no home without a single jasmine plant in Kerala. Binomial name is Jasminum species, which includes Jasminum officinale, Jasminum sinense, or Jasminum grandiflora. You need to know either or any one of the binomial names. It belongs to the family Oleaceae, and here also the flower is used. So it is commonly grown as a house plant, also seen in gardens. Various forms or various species of jasmine is cultivated all over our place. The flowers are various important. It is used for religious rituals, decorations, and solemn ceremonies. They are also used for extracting essential oils which are used in perfumery. This is a jasmine oil which is obtained from the jasmine plant. So here jasmine is also used for decorations and also in extracting essential oils. So these are the various economically important plants. So we have discussed various economically important plants which affect or which have major roles in our day-to-day life. So in all these three sessions, we have discussed many of them. So make sure that you are familiar with the binomial name, family, morphology of the useful part, and a few uses. So with this, we are coming to the end of this session. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.